Hello, hello. Hi there. Yep. Everything's looking good. Let's jump straight into it. Oops. And the first thing I do is accidentally scroll. Okay. When I came upon Central Boulevard, the streets were already illuminated by the endless rows of neon lights. It would appear that I'm a bit late. Pushing back the suffocating crowd, I walked towards the cafe, Lapis Lazuli.
いらっしゃいませ。1名様ですか?
Hey, Rancho, how's it going? The waiter greeted me with the single finger raised. No, someone's waiting for me. As I glanced around the cafe, I realized that I couldn't find Tsubaki. Excuse me, did the girl wearing the Gyugasaki uniform stop by? The waiter tilted his head a bit. She carries a diary around everywhere.
ああ、はいはい。いらっしゃってましたよ。
that was the distinctive feature. Hey, Machan, how are you? Did she already leave?
男性の方と一緒に見られて、ついさっきまた一緒に店を出て行かれましたよ。
Ooh, a man, mysterious. What? Don't tell me. What was the man like?
女の子にしきりに話しかけてましたね。色黒で体が大きくて、ジャケットを羽織ってましたよ。
I am wearing cats. It is a new shirt, actually. First time that I wear it. I just took the tag off right before stream. Here, let me give you a sneak peek. Sorry about that. Here. Cats. There we go. Alright. That's... Who is that? A black jacket, very big and very tall. Yep, a con artist. Oh no. Oh no, I'm getting a headache. Oh no. He probably saw Tsubaki as an easy target. Generally, con artists won't immediately bring their prey into their office. Instead, they'll talk with girls in some place with a nice atmosphere like this cafe, trying to measure them up. Jesus, that naive girl. At the best, he wants her to work at his hostess bar. At worst, he'll want her in a porno. Great, fantastic. Even though I had just arrived, I immediately left. There are 4 operational talent agencies of varying sizes along Central Boulevard. All of them are under the protection of Azai Gonzo's organization. Ooh, so he's gonna be able to pull some strings. Of course, they all know what the Azai Corporation is. Even though I didn't want to resort to this, I really have no choice. I dialed on my cell. This is a call from the Azai Corporation. Has your agency been in contact with a girl named Tsubaki in the past few hours? She'd be wearing a Gyugasaki uniform. An hour passed. Tsubaki walked down the dark stairs of the building. Ah, I finally found you. It's nearly impossible when you don't carry a cell. Despite being picked up by a con artist, she doesn't seem to be in any bad shape. What happened? I pretended to not know anything.
なんだかね、写真を撮らせてほしいって頼まれてたの。ファッション雑誌のカメラマンの人に声をかけられてね。
And you believed him? Wow, not bad. You are pretty cute.
そんなことないよ。ありがとね。
That smile almost ended up in a dirty magazine. But you promised you'd meet me at a coffee shop. You shouldn't just go off with strangers.
ごめん。それは本当にごめんね。でも、その人すっごく熱心にお話ししてて、断るのもかわいそうで、浅井くんに連絡して相談しようと思ってたんだよ。
I am concerned by her complete lack of self-preservation and survival instincts. Oh god, girl.
でも、セントラル街って公衆電話が全然ないんだね。そしたらその人が事務所に来てくれれば電話を貸してくれるって。
Oh my gosh. Seriously, this girl has absolutely no sense of danger or suspicion. So what about the photographs?
一枚も。なんだか急に帰っていいって言われて、丁寧に出口まで見送ってもらったよ。
Of course that bastard would be respectful after hearing the Azai family name.
私、審査落ちしちゃったみたいだね。
At that, I could only crack a wry smile. Forget about it. It's no big deal. Let's go get that Bach CD.
あ、ごめんね、待たせちゃって。
So much for getting to Kanon's practice tonight, I would assume. You trust people too easily as well, Nezu? I wouldn't be trusting a photographer dressed shadily coming to me and saying that I need to go to some office somewhere so that he can take pictures of me because I'm so cute. No way! That actually happened to me on the street when I was with a friend in high school. And we were both like, we're not going anywhere, dude. Goodbye. What? After we bought everything, we casually strolled along the streets.
浅井くん、どうして2枚も同じ CD 買ったの？
Hehe, you don't know?
なんだかわからないけど。
I explained as I looked at the two CDs. The first is for my collection. I'm never going to open it. Room decoration only. Oh, he's that kind of person. Okay.
へえ、本当に好きなんだね。私、バッハは G-senjou のアリアとトッカータとフーガくらいしかわからないよ。
Well, those are some of his most famous pieces. This CD is centered around... oh god, I don't know how to read that. Chacon? Or... I don't know how to read that.
シャコンの？
Oh, okay. It's the way she says it, so it must be somewhere close to the truth. To be specific, it's the Partita number 2 in D minor. It's played exclusively by violins and it's very hard to put together.
パルティータ？
Your face is so cute. There are many versions of this chacon. The most famous is probably the one by Busoni, but personally, I'm not too hot on that one.
ブゾーニ。
Although, while Bach's polyphonic compositions are excellent, of course, I do think that some of his works that hold back a bit or rein in their complexity and difficulty, pieces much like Air in Fugue Bear, that allow the audience to enjoy the beauty of their melodies, have a charm of their own. Suddenly I want to pull for Fugue. Yeah, exactly. The French suites are an astounding example of this. If we wanted to talk performers, Leonhardt plays the best harpsichord on those pieces, but you'd have to give me a little more time to think when it comes to the piano. You are overwhelming her like she's not understanding any of this. She's just nodding along.
へえ、そうなんだ。
Even though I've said this much, please don't think of me as a die-hard fan. I still don't really understand the appeal of his church cantatas, for example.
浅井くんってちょっとマニアックなところあるんだな。今日もありがとうね。可愛い日記も書いたし楽しかったよ。
In the end, what sets Bach apart from the rest is...
まだ続くんだ。
Yeah, I was about to say, is he still rambling? We arrived at the station before we knew it. Yes, he is. Oh crap, I promised Kanon that I'd come watch her this evening. Skipping out twice in a row would drive her nuts. Thank goodness he remembered.
そうなんだ。ごめんね。遅くまで付き合わせて。
I would have facepalmed so hard if he had forgotten the second time. It's alright, Bear. Nah, don't worry about it. It's just a second. I need to take this. I mean, I guess the novel's title is a reference, right? So that's why they're introducing it.
あ、鳴ってるね。かのんちゃんかな。
I grabbed my phone. Hey, oh, Miki-chan, what's up? Miki-chan again? Oh yeah, right, really. Well, let's grab some dinner next time, okay? Hey Squid, how's it going? Yes, see ya. It was nothing important. Sorry, Tsubaki, I have to go now.
浅井くん、浅井くん。
Oh, you know the novel. Oh, that's great. Nice. Yes, Bancho is collecting allies because Zeku has also read this. So nice. Awesome. Yeah, thank you for dropping by. Good luck with work if it's a working day for you. Tsubaki was forcing her lips shut, swallowing her tension. What? Bear thinks Ba is lame. Do you have other preferences, maybe, in terms of classical?
CD 貸してくれると嬉しいな。
Tsubaki bad end is peak. Oh god. Oh god, what happens to her? Oh dear lord. Sure, no problem. I'll give it to you a couple days from now after I finish listening to it. Was that really it?
じゃあ、また明日、学園でね。
It seems that she's still hiding something. Oh well, who cares? After saying goodbye, I left for the skating rink. It was 2 stations from Central Boulevard by train. The skating arena is a complex building smack dab in the middle of the central district. It has regular ice rinks as well as special ones for ice hockey and figure skating. It's even kept open year-round. With the amount of media attention Canon has been receiving recently, it's not surprising that Tomanbetsu City is going all out with its sport facilities. It was 6:30 already. It's almost time to clear out the regular customers and make the complex into a facility solely dedicated to reserved practice time. I got in after explaining to security that I was a relative of Canon. Of course, joining these athletes on the ice during their rigorous training is strictly forbidden. I sat in the stands and silently observed the practice. Mendelssohn's violin concerto is the shit. Okay, nice. Nice. I remember just vaguely a few things that I was shown in school by him. It was nice. Oh, do we get to see her in her attire? A happy, carefree voice came from the direction of the rink. I couldn't see her coach anywhere, so it was probably break time. Oh, look at her! Oh, cute. Oh, that's a fancy attire for just practice. Very nice. Canon gracefully glided all around a track, not even wearing a coat. Hey, what are you playing? Compulsory figures is an event where an athlete has to etch a pattern onto the ice. Although, since it was unsuitable for TV broadcast, the event has been excluded from most competitions. Canon was on one leg, going in a circle. Occasionally, she would change the direction of the curve, slowly tracing out a symbol on the ice. Due to its slow nature, it doesn't look all that fancy. I'm getting bored here, but for Canon, it's an important test of her skills.
Already!
To keep on practicing even during break. Impressive. Canon faced me while skating backwards. The skates traced out 2 parallel curves with complete ease. Wow, have you gotten better or something? I gave her an obligatory compliment. Cute, cute. Pivoting off that motion, she began to spin, but it would appear that she didn't generate enough momentum, and she suddenly stopped shortly thereafter. Wow, that looked really good or something. Well, I'm not a judge or anything, so I really don't know. Still, it seems like you've lost some weight. Height, 5'3", body shape well proportioned. I'm not entirely sure how much 5'3" is. It's something around slightly above 150 centimeters, right? So she's not super tall. However, it was her long limbs that really gave her the edge in figure skating. When she tried executing a second jump, she lost her balance. Hey now, don't get too cocky and injure yourself. He can't, he's an observer. She chatted as she came over to the seats. Aw, cute! Nice. She looks cute. Aren't you cold? Yeah, she gets from the physical effort. She gets heated up, so it's actually good to have ways to balance the body temperature. That thing you're wearing, is that your competition costume? Is it okay to be wearing that right now? Yeah, to get used to it. Imagine that you're wearing it for the first time on the day of the competition, and you realize that maybe, I don't know, some place of it is too constricting and you mess up because you're not used to it. Like, no. Yeah, this makes sense to me. In a month and a half, Kanon will be entering a competition that is used to select Olympic participants. Okay. She held out her arms and hugged me tightly. Hey, watch it. Look at your feet. Those razor-sharp blades almost cut my toes off. This girl has a weird sense of humor. Oh yeah, where's Mama? She's really busy, huh? I wanted to say hi at least.
今後どういう風にのんちゃんを伸ばすのかっていう話し合いしてるみたい。
What direction do you want to go in?
知らない。でも絶対オリンピック行くよ。
She's the simple ones.
ねえねえ、のんちゃんの人気者計画聞いてよ。
Plan?
もっともっと有名になって、もっとたくさんの人にのんちゃんのこと見てもらうんだ。
Great. What comes next?
終わりだけど。
It's a vague plan. But that's so like you. I'm sure you'll be fine. Kanon returned to the skating rink once again, smiling all the while.
さてさて、じゃあ兄さんにも4回転ジャンプを見せてやろうじゃないか。
Oh, you mean the loop? Quad jump refers to the quadruple lutz, an extremely difficult jump that has never been successfully performed in any public women's competition around the world. I was about to say, I've heard of triple stuff, but quadruple? Okay. The jumping itself is easy. Landing the damn thing is the hard part.
今まで全部転んじゃってるんだけど、兄さんの前ならきっとできる。
Well, she's confident. Hey, don't try it if you can't do it. It hurts when you fall, doesn't it?
だって成功したらもっと人気者になれるよ。
Okay, another one with the very little disregard for her own self-preservation. That only works if you succeed.
みんな新しい技が大好きなんだよ。だから頑張って絶対成功させるんだ。
Isn't this a thing that, like, over time, you know, if you compare, for example, what people do in gymnastics or skating today with what was happening a few decades ago, it's night and day. Like, the difficulty has, like, skyrocketed. And even though there are people today who kind of try to push it even further, I feel like I mean, I don't know specific, but I feel like there are some regulations in place that some things are forbidden from being attempted because they're so dangerous. So I have a bad feeling about this. Yeah. Kanon started skating again, full of momentum. Wait, I'm getting a call. It's probably Miki-chan again. Geez, there's a limit on how much you can disrupt my life, you know? Who is this mysterious Miki-chan? We never get to meet her. Well, hello? However, when I heard the voice coming through the receiver, I couldn't help but hold my breath.
兄さんまだ
Cannon was nowhere near my radar.
やっちゃうぞジャンプしちゃうぞ
Oh no.
よそ見してても知らないぞ
Oh no, oh no. I have such a bad feeling. After the call disconnected, I said one thing to her. Sorry, something came up.
ちょっと
Cannon stomped her feet, and the sound of crushed ice reached my ears. My mindset had already changed. My carefree time in the surface world was already over. Because that call was from Azai Gonzo, summoning me to his quarters. At least she didn't try to jump. Jeez Louise. The city's southern district is very quiet. It's a tranquil, high-class district with newly built homes lined up one after the other. Each of the many mansions is so spacious and luxurious that it creates the illusion that one isn't even in Japan anymore. The pedestrian count is remarkably low, and I only occasionally pass by a cop patrolling on a bicycle. The luxurious doors all bear the metal plates of various protection agencies, sparing not even the space for an insect to pass through. It's an area that suitably demonstrates the power of the people who live here and control this city. After around an hour, I arrived at Gonzo's estate. No matter how often I come here, I still get nervous. When I pressed the doorbell, a maid quickly answered. It's Kyosuke. Is my father in the house? After a few more minutes, I was allowed through the gate. 2 expensive black cars were parked on the grounds. I looked at the pond as I walked through the hall. On the way, I met a few of Gonzo's subordinates and greeted them. Gonzo is having dinner with a guest right now. I was commanded to join them for a drink. I can only follow instructions. I finally arrived at the door of the guest room. Light leaked out from behind the sliding door. I didn't hear a conversation. Instead, I only heard the sound of alcohol rapidly flowing through someone's throat. Without a doubt, that man awaited me on the other side. Pardon the interruption, sir. It's Kyosuke. After a short while... Azai Gonzo released a deep sigh that resembled the braying of an animal. May I join you? I heard that there was a guest, but I couldn't sense anyone else in there. Oi. Oh gosh. We're getting some variation on Tchaikovsky. That's nice. I like Tchaikovsky. And that guy is dead? What's happening over here? Like, we have a bloody hand. Oh god. Gosh darn it. Oh my goodness. I immediately sensed something abnormal. A series of extravagant dishes had been strewn about the tatami mats. It's been a long time. I sincerely apologize. In this traditional room, a man who appeared to be a guest lay before me. He was bleeding from the forehead and was lying down flat on the table. I gazed at the man, unsure whether he was dead or alive, and put on a mask of indifference. There are no problems worth mentioning. No problems at all. Before my father, before Azai Gonzo, I am used to the sight of blood. Just Yakuza things. What can I say? On the corner of the table lay a crumpled business card. Maou Station. First Planning Department. Executive Producer. I think I've heard his name before. Every Monday at prime time, he airs popular drama shows with over 20% viewer rates. This guy is pretty famous. Both his personal and work lives are riddled with impressive exploits, and there is no person in the entertainment world who wouldn't wag his or her tail for him. No. If he gave out his card, that means this is the first time they've met. we're still talking about him in the present, right? So we're not saying he was too arrogant, right? Is that hope, or you haven't changed, father? Kanon is famous as a beautiful figure skater. She's even been in a few commercials. If Gonzo called this man arrogant, then it's probably not his personality. It's likely because of some problem with the contract. At any rate, my father just submerged someone into the sea of violence upon their first meeting, someone of rather prominent stature, no less. When I was younger, I always wondered why he could bend the rules like that. Okay. He's at least alive right now. Not sure what happens in a few minutes. It seems like the man is still alive.
私こんなことをして許されると思ってるのか
Oh, this hurts to listen to, jeez. Gonzo glanced at the man as he picked up a piece of sashimi, unrivaled in taste.
弁護士に警察に知らしたお前みたいなこと社会的には脱
Gonzo laughed gleefully.
20歳になる娘がいるんだろう
Gonzo took another swallow of delicious sake. I can understand what Gonzo is thinking. It's too late now. To those who have never experienced true danger, threatening to call their lawyers or the police at the first sign of hostility seems completely logical. Only it's too late. The police won't move until something has happened, and a lawyer can't be by one's side 24/7.
娘がソープに沈められてからうちのどうでもいいような若いのが懲役食らったとしてお前は満足なのか
This isn't a dry threat. Multitudes of delinquents under Azai Gonzo's control are just licking their lips, desperately waiting to receive any order. Beasts who would take pride in their time spent in custody. They're illogical creatures, men who don't even analyze the immediate future. They merely follow orders down to the letter.
まあ座って刺身でも食っていけ
Blood is splashed here and there across the food. Ugh. The blowfish looks particularly delicious. Thank you, sir. The man's breath was as feeble as an insect's, yet I picked up my chopsticks. No, alcohol is a bit... I mean, props to that voice actor. This is giving me the creeps.
九州の焼酎でななかなかいける
He went ham, indeed. Really? This guy is on his last leg. Nevertheless, the two of us neglect him and enjoy our food. Can we go back to the cringy high school stuff? I'd rather be uncomfortable there than be uncomfortable here. Oh god. Yes, exactly. Maybe we return to the funny diary girl. This is the relationship between Azai Gonzo and Azai Kyosuke. Yes. I'm glad we all feel the same. Like, give me back last stream. Compared to this, that was fine. Well then, what's the day's command? I timidly cut to the chase. Gonzo tilted his head.
メスの匂いがする
Pardon? What's he talking
な
about?
女でも作ったか
Okay, In Japanese, it didn't sound that bad. I think it's just the bold choice in the translation that's really, like, made me do a double take here. Okay. No. Paying no mind to my refusal, he glared at me, emitting an unspoken suffocating pressure. I swallowed. I was fooling around with a classmate, Miyo Tsubaki, for a couple of days. That was it, really. She has no money, so I have no real interest in her. What do you mean by fooling around? Maybe it's again a translation thing. It feels like it can imply other things that actually did not happen. Gonzo stared at me once more. He's almost 6.5 feet tall. The giant excreted intimidation from his every pore. Is there something amiss? A woman I've been around, but not Tsubaki. Yes, she told me. Gonzo took a furious swig of the liquor. Who is Ikuko? Ikuko is Kano's mother. Ah, got it. Okay. I call her Mama when I'm at school or speaking with Kanon. She's a figure skating coach. Also, she was Gonzo's lover long ago. In other words, even though Kanon was his only daughter, she was still merely the child of a mistress. Gonzo's real wife died a while ago. I never met her. Kanon doesn't know about this, but obviously Gonzo and Ikuko live separately. Kanon's personality is much more similar to yours than her mother's. Ikuko is Kanon. Yeah, I mean, yes. Yes, I did have an Umineko-related jolt at the sight of the name, but I'm just trying to adapt to the context of this story. Stubborn and arbitrary. Oh wow. Yes, she's a candidate for the Olympics. Publishers and production companies are constantly knocking at the door. If she does manage to get in, foreign media will undoubtedly be interested in coverage. Her future is looking bright. As a front organization, we at the Asahi Corporation should consider using her as a powerful PR tool to help improve our image. Gonzo gave a satisfied nod at my suggestion. Hey, Zeku. Hi, hi. Pat, pat. Gonzo opened up his hairy fist. The atmosphere in the room suddenly became unpleasant. When he called my name, my anxiety peaked. Excuse me, what? In an instant, the strong man in front of me turned into a detestable monster. How can such a father even exist? Even if she's illegitimate, Kanon is still his flesh and blood. To have his foster son engage in such intimacies, one must question the man's sanity. Our country's birth rate is declining rapidly. She is not in the position to contribute to the birth rate. Not for a few years at least. Come on, what the heck? I gave an ambiguous nod. I have no words. I understand. I'll see to it sooner or later. How about never? My head is numb. When I am before this monster, or regular thoughts cease. Gonzo lowered his voice a notch. Yes, they're an event circle which has gained a bit of power on Central Boulevard. An event Circle is an organization that helps gather customers for clubs when special events are held. They're just a group of party-loving thugs, but their outward appearance is pleasing and they can dance and DJ. Compared to some talentless performers, they're actually quite good at gathering customers. Do you intend on doing business with them? After these organizations expand to a certain point, Yakuza usually come in to help clean up the mess. In exchange for a protection fee, the Yakuza will help them out when they run into any sort of trouble. However, Gonzo wrinkled his brow at my supposition.
連中は覚醒剤を回してる。
No way. My back erupted into a cold sweat. Such a small organization actually dared to sell cocaine? Unforgivable. Of course, the reason that's unforgivable isn't because it's against the law. All the cocaine circulating in the city is under the control of the Sonoyama group. Azai Gonzo happens to be the leader of said group, the fourth in its history. I only know what I have to, so I have no idea where they get the cocaine from. But the important thing is that those amateurs went ahead and stepped in our territory.
しかも、どうやらうちが回しているものより質がいいらしい。
That's very
今
strange.
人をやって坊やの幹部を捕まえに行かせているところだ。
With his mobility power and extensive network of information, tracking down a little brat or two would take little to no effort. Ah, I understand. I might not be needed in this case, but I'll search amongst the shadows. I lowered my head deeply.
頼んだぞ、息子よ。
Yes, after all, I owe my current lifestyle to you, father. I drank with Gonzo until late into the night. I have no idea what happened to that unfortunate producer. Oh my god, it's over. Oh jeez, it felt like it was never ending. Ah. Back to the morning song. Back to school. Oh, let me just take a second. To feel safe again. Oh god. I attended school every day this week, so I feel pretty good. For me, school is a free place, completely devoid of pressure.
おう、京介。
Not to mention the countless friends I have.
昨日の件考えてくれたか？
Hmm? What about yesterday?
てめえざけんな。おめえの不詳の妹のことだろうが。
He's still moping over that matter. Ichi, try to be more mature. There'll always be more women.
うるせえ。のりこ先生からメールが来たんだよ。やっぱり H 君とは付き合えないってな。
Yeah, I was about to say, like, even him, I'm fine, just not that guy. God. This is relaxing now. But wouldn't you say that the woman who turns you down for such a little thing as what happened yesterday isn't the woman you're looking for?
くそー。それもこれも全部カノンのせいだ。
Ichi tightened his small fists to show his indignation.
のんちゃんがどうかした？げ
What is this face?
エイちゃん、何がのんちゃんのせいなの？なんでもないよ。いや、カノンちゃんはいつも元気がいいね。僕にも元気を分けてほしいな。
He released his clenched hands. Canon, do you have gym class today?
すごい楽しみ。明日はクラス対抗でバレーボールの試合するから、朝はみんなで集まって練習するんだ。
Canon lowered the bag that I gave to her as a present. Inside the bag lies a gym uniform.
じゃあね
She lightly stepped away.
ー。くそ、気に入らねえわ。あの頭の悪そうな笑顔が一層気に入らないぜ。
You aren't exactly the brightest kid yourself. While carrying on with our meaningless conversation, we entered the school. I arrived quite early today, so there weren't many people in the corridor. Downstairs, a girl approached us with inhumanly heavy steps.
あ、どうも。
Yo, you're pretty
そうっ
early.
すかね。
Our eyes never met.
宇佐美さん、宇佐美さん。はい。今日は僕も友達にしてくれるんだよね。一日二人までとか言ってたよね。いや、
一つのコミュニティに2人までなんで、学園じゃ椿とカノンでもうギリギリ限界なんで。
Turned down.
ひどいよ。すんません。意地悪してるわけじゃないんすけど、自分そういう戒めとか多いんで。勇者ですし。まともに口を聞いてくれるだけでもいいんだけど。
I'll see you in class. I find it hard to interact with this Usami Haru. Usami stared at me with discerning eyes. Such a strange girl. My entrance to the classroom brought with it a surprise. Oh, Claire de Lune. Nice. The person who had been missing for a few days stood right beside the window. New person! Yay! Hey, good morning. I spoke in a friendly tone. Is this Shiratori? You're quite early today, Shiratori-san. There we go. Shiratori showed no interest in anyone within the classroom and continued to water the flowers quietly. You're so responsible. You come here early every morning just to water the flowers, don't you? My interaction with Shiratori Mizuha is not without purpose. Come to think of it, I haven't seen you for quite a while, huh? I can't really blame you since I skip every now and then myself. But what made you take a few days off? I hope you didn't catch a cold. Oh my god, he's awfully chatty with her. Shiratori is the daughter of the school's director. Oh, okay. He's trying to make buddy-buddy with her because of that. This director is also the chairman of a contracting company. Poof! And that company is a subsidiary of the Sano Corporation, one of Japan's most prominent and well-established corporations. The Sano Corporation, which manufactures everything from pens to rockets, that's a wide range, has its headquarters here in Tomanbetsu City. Thus, the variety of businesses it develops here are a huge influence on the region's economy. Their influence permeates the city so thoroughly that it's practically omnipresent, just like that of the Soa Alliance. Who do I want to romance? Well, as suggested by Bancho, and against all of the guides, I'm gonna first go for the main route, which will be Haru. Yeah. There are the others as well. Bancho says that it's not really that interesting. But if we're interested in just seeing what it is, and I would personally be curious, we could do them afterwards. The one thing that I do know about it is like just vaguely what people say on the internets when I researched this a little bit, because those aren't like the true routes of the novel. They kind of fall a little bit, I don't know, short or flat, because basically you're branching away from the main story, which does not get continued or seen through completely. But I don't know. I personally would be interested just to see what's there. We'll see. But for now, I have the guide for Haru's route on my side to make those choices. Which means that if I wanted to operate some financial mechanisms here, keeping a good relationship with Shiratori Mizuha wouldn't hurt one bit. I see. So he has other kinds of interests. I put on my fake smile, as usual. That's why he was so not worried, but he kept mentioning, oh, she hasn't come to school today, and stuff. Hey, Shiratori-san, can I have your number? Maybe we could hang out sometime. Shiratori's hands and the watering can they held suddenly halted.
Azai-kun? Azai-kun wa ohana ga suki?
Ah, which girl I like? I mean, we haven't really met all of them, right? Let me... Oh, sorry. I'm scrolling in the guide, but apparently I'm scrolling in the game, too. I mean, Tsubaki is super sweet. She just, like, has no sense of danger, critical thinking, self-preservation. So it hits a soft spot. Like, there's something in me that would want to protect her. Kanon is his sister. I don't care that they're not blood related. I'm not comfortable with that. Shiratori we're just meeting now, and Haru is just I don't know how much we've seen of who she really is. She just seems to be putting up this like weird front. So yeah. So far my attachment mostly goes into Tsubaki's direction. As of this moment, that's all of them. Yeah. Well, I don't really have much of an opinion. I can enjoy the look of a nice garden, but I'm no enthusiast.
好きなものは何?
Girls. I made sure to remember my smile as I spouted that line. Just kidding. Classical music. I actually bought the CD just yesterday.
クラシックね。
Huh. As far as my interests go, the only thing I've got left is going to arcades.
お金は好き?
Although, by only the slightest bit, Shiratori's tone changed. Money, you say? I'm sort of rich and all, so I never really thought about it. I smiled as I scratched the back of my head, but then Mizuha suddenly said,
残念。
as if striking waves on calm waters.
嫌いと答えたら、あなたを責めるつもりだったの。
Huh. What's up with this woman? Haha, what are you talking about? Well then, Shiratori-san, do you like money? Shiratori didn't answer me.
私はあなたを知っているわ。
What about
随
me?
分と高そうな車に乗っているのね。
True, I had an imported deluxe limo. Oh, you. I told you I was rich. My dad gave it to me. But why did she know?
随分と人相の悪そうな人たちを連れ回しているのね。
Did she see me on the streets? Nobody from this school should know about the Asahi Corporation. I have always been careful about how I go about doing things. What a clumsy translation there.
あなたは自分の倍くらいの年齢の人たちを顎で使っていたわ。
Ooh, she sees through the mask. Where did you see that?
南区の住宅街。あなたのお父さんの屋敷の近くに私の家もあるの。
She knows. Maybe not the full extent of it, but she's sniffing it out at least. So that's why. It's useless to play dumb now. After all, Shiratori is the director's daughter. She could have investigated any student's background easily if she wanted to. So what? I smiled thinly. Even knowing that I manage huge capital in the Asahi Corporation, what are you going to
そ
do?
れがあなたの本性。
Say
どう
what you
してあな
want.
たは学園ではひょうきんな仮面をかぶっているの？
Nobody's going to confess his sins unless he's forced to. Isn't that right?
悪いことをしている自覚はあるのね。
I was just using it as an example. If I were you, I'd stop trying to nitpick and find faults in little things like that. It makes you look
ア
bad.
ザイ君って本当は随分と頭が回るのね。勝てそうにないわ。
Shiratori remains emotionless. This is a little troublesome. The reason I spend my precious time in school is not only to reduce my stress, but also to hide my identity from certain corners of the underworld. Practically all business is dealt with either by phone or by email. I don't even meet people face to face when the deals go down. In trades like mine, your life's at risk once you're exposed. Besides Gonzo, only a few administrators from the group know my identity. Thus, keeping Shiratori's mouth shut is essential. May I ask you to keep this a secret? Please? Shiratori didn't reply. I understand. How much do you... Oh god. Oof. Shiratori revealed her emotions for the first time.
私はあなたが嫌い。それだけが言いたかったの。
Wait, don't run. I grabbed Shiratori's hand. How's 1 million? Dude, it's not gonna work. That's not it.
本気で言っているの？
Money's the only way to gain trust.
かわいそうな人ね。
Your sympathy isn't what I need. Just allow me to feel safe. I stepped forward. Shiratori's beautiful lips began to quiver.
みんな見てるわよ。
I'll just say I was hitting on
バカ
you.
なことを。
Everybody in the class thinks I'm nothing but a playboy. Because I intentionally project that aura. What about you? You barely ever show up to class. Do you even have any friends? Who do you think's going to side with you? The corners of Shiratori's quivering lips turned down. Let's just try to get along, shall we?
もう離れて。
The class bell rang. I hope we can have a more pleasant chat next time, don't you? I think she would prefer to not have any next chats with you at all. This time Shiratori freed herself from my grasp. She was trying to act tough, but in the end she is still a teenage girl. Now let's enjoy school. Ugh. Miki-chan didn't call today. Tsubaki, Kanon, Eiichi, and I were on the rooftop as usual. Usami was there as well, keeping her distance from the rest of us.
お昼だ。今日はたくさん食べるぞ。
Kanon bought a lot of bread from the convenience store.
カノンちゃん、今日も体育で大活躍だったもんね。お腹空いたでしょ。ここんところずっとお昼抜いてたからね。
僕のお菓子も食べる？セントラル街の有名なプリンだよ。自分で食べるために買ったんだけど、特別に分けてあげる。
Has he already given up on hating Kanon?
あ、ファンキーのプリンだ。美味しそうだね。
Funky is a popular dessert shop among the girls.
賞味期限切れだっつーの。こんなんで許してやる俺。マジ寛大じゃね。
I really should stop
な
him.
んちゃんプリン嫌い。
ほんと？
Oh, thank
だっ
God.
て甘いもの好きそうじゃない？
Imagine her eating that and then getting sick and not being able to practice and stuff. Dude!
人は見かけによらないっていう格言があるんだよ。
きしょ、大抵の女は甘いもんで釣れるっつうのによ。つうか格言とか調子こいてんじゃねえぞボケ。
エイちゃん食べないの？
僕はいいよ。
なんで？甘いもの好きでしょ？いつもバクバク食べてるじゃない。
How old are these kids supposed to be? Like what? 14? 15? How does he have this kind of vocabulary? Jesus Christ.
男子3日会わざればって言うでしょ。
言わないよ。
そんな断言しないでよ。
のんちゃんの言うこと絶対正しいよ。絶対合ってるよ。ねえ兄さん。
Yeah, anyways, eat your pudding, Eiichi.
いいったら椿ちゃん食べなよ。
ごめんね。私もお腹いっぱいだから。
じゃあ宇佐美さんは？
Usami, who's been watching us argue from far away, responded with another question.
プリンって持って3日くらいですかね。
Oh, there we go, she's onto
2
it.
日以内に食べるのがいいと思うな。
じゃあ自分甘いものは好きな方なんすけど、賞味期限切れなのは勘弁っすね。
Eiichi's pupils contracted.
いやまあお手ずっぽうっすけどね。自分セントラル街でバイトしてるんすよ。唐突っすけど。だからわかるんすけど、ファンキーでしたっけ？確か一昨日は定休日でしたよね。おととい？それがどうしたの？昨日買ったプリンだよ。何か変かな？ちょっとおかしくないっすかね。
Hehe.
何が？
She pieced it all together. Wow, I like that.
エテ吉さんは毎日違うお菓子を食べるんすよね。昨日言ってましたよね。ポリスイとか？ポリスイじゃなくてポリシー。まあ何でもいいんすけど。何でもいいなら無駄に発音ひねらないでよ。重要なのは昨日もプリン食べてたってことっすよ。
Come to think of it,
だから 今日は昨日と同じお菓子を食べないんなら、今日食べるために昨日と同じプリンを買いに行くっていうのはポリシー的にちょっとおかしくないですか？
Oh my god.
いや
Detective Usami.
カノンちゃんにあげようと思って買いに行ったんだよ。うん、そう。
Sure.
自分で食べるために買ったって、さっき妙にもったいつけて言ってませんでしたっけ？
それは
I think he has found someone else to be annoyed with more than Canon. Oh my god. Rest in peace, I saw Aichi. That's true, you ate pudding just yesterday and the shop was closed the day before, thus the pudding must be from long ago.
エイちゃん、まさか賞味期限切れてるの知ってて、そんなことないよね。知らなかったよね。
Everybody stared at Aichi, approaching him slowly.
通販で買ったんだよ。
Saying that was like pleading a guilty.
助けてく
Doubt it's possible, bro.
れ。
Aichi retreated back into his despair.
そういえば、浅井くん、CD 聞いた？
Tsubaki's trying to change the topic. What a nice person. Since Aichi looks miserable, let's just go with the flow. This CD? No, I haven't. I pulled the box CD out of my uniform's pocket.
どうして未開封なの？あんなに楽しみにしてたじゃない。
Well, he was a little bit busy. You still don't get it, Tsubaki.
どうして大事そうにポッケに入れて学園に持ってきてるの？
You wouldn't understand either, Kanon. I cleared my throat. Yes, I truly was looking forward to this magnificent Bach CD. Believe me when I say it's like a glorious treasure that I've been awaiting for far too long. However, that is precisely the reason why I will let it sleep, let it ripen a bit in my pocket for one more excruciatingly long day. Ripen in my pocket. Okay. Sure.
What?
I realize it's difficult for you women folk to understand this. But the ecstasy of release after forcibly building that gripping tension of unnecessary restraint, it's breathtaking. Oh, God.
ただの謎じゃないですか。
Say what you want, regardless, I must subject myself to this trial by fire today. Crap, I'm starting to drool.
へえ、ちょっと貸して。
I know, Moth-chan, I know! I'm in disbelief myself, but I guess this is the kind of main character that we have, okay? So I'm gonna have to read stuff like that. She snatched it away from me. Hey, give it back.
ちょっと見せてよ。いいでしょ？
Just a peek, okay? Listen, do not unwrap it. Absolutely do not unwrap it. She's gonna unwrap it. The sound tearing plastic makes. Wait, hey, damn it, I told you not to unwrap it.
まあまあ、中のブックレット読んでみたかったんだよ。
Damn, I wanted to read that too. I've been waiting so long that I would kill just to get a glimpse of it. The scene before me began to twist as if a dimensional rift had opened all around me.
うわー、やっぱり買ったばっかりだから CD もピカピカだね。
Stop, don't spin that divine disc on your fingers.
でへへへへ。
Canon flashed a devious smile. This is bad. That's the same expression she has when she's bullying Aichi. I gotta say, Canon is such a refreshing presence. She just like calls things as they are. I love it. She is a full-on mood kind of person. I love it.
ねえ兄さん
Crap.
パキってしてもいい？
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
カノンちゃんさすがに割ったら冗談じゃ済まないよ
Yeah, Tsubaki, help me out here. Don't break it.
絶対ダメだよ
The more you say that and the more invested you get into it, the more she's gonna actually want to do it.
どうしようかな兄さんが困ってる兄さんが困ってるよ
Hey, Sami, why are you still standing around? Come help us stop her.
はい絶対ダメだ
Eiichi, you two, get up off your lazy ass. Help me think of a way to stop this crazy kid.
絶対やめろ
Canon gripped the CD with both hands. I clearly saw her thin nails sink into the disc.
兄さんおととい約束すっぽかしたよね
Oh, yeah.
兄さん昨日もいきなり帰っちゃったよね
Ooh, she's out for revenge. Stop, stop! Stop! I flew toward Canon, as though a cheetah leaping in for the kill. She was stunned as I wrestled her for the disc. Touched the disc with my fingertips, got a hold of it for a moment, and then lost it again. I stretched my arms out one last time, but the CD had already fallen to the ground. The entire landscape darkened in my despair. I sank to my knees. Picking up the disc, I examined the surface carefully. A thread-like scar was gashed across the shimmering surface. Then there was absolute darkness. Rest in peace, CD. The Bach CD that I've restrained myself from opening has been injured.
兄さん兄さん
Canon patted my shoulder. Canon,
ん
don't you have something to say to me? She just smiled sweetly, like a little devil.
割るつもりはなかったんだよでもみんなして絶対ダメ絶対ダメって言うんだもん絶対って10回くらい言ってたもんこれって振りっていうやつだよね
That's exactly what I was saying. This ain't no comedy show.
まあ振りといえば振りでしたね
元気出してよ大君そんな悲しい顔しないでまた一緒に買いに行けばいいじゃない
Stop shitting around.
カノンちゃんもひどいなでも京介くんも大人になろうね
You fucker.
みんな面白かったみたいだし兄さん人気者だね
Okay, I'm not gonna read that. Unforgivable, absolutely unforgivable. There we are again. Ah. We are alive. It is mine to avenge. I'd rather betray the world than let the world betray me. After school in the lab, equipment storage room. And more Tchaikovsky in the background, I like that. I roared to my worshipper. Hey you foolish mortal.
はい
I shall grant you your puny desires.
何でしたっけ
Don't go forgetting about it. Canon, damn it.
神落ち着いてくださいよ
That brat has overstepped her boundaries. Remember when you piddly humans built a tower to heaven? God was outraged. I feel exactly the same way right now.
でもたかが妹のいたずらじゃないですか
There are kinslaying gods.
本気なんですか
Kid, don't you understand? If you stood in line from 1 a.m. to 10 a.m. for a game and someone just broke it for fun, what would you do?
また買えばいいじゃないですか
Shut up! You can only say that when it's not your stuff that's been broken.
いや神も昨日は全然俺に構ってくれなかったじゃないですか
Look, the point is, we have to give Kanon the punishment she deserves. Now you want to punish her.
わかりましたよ。どうするんですか？
Hey, I have a plan.
さすがですね、神。
I don't know if I want to hear what that plan is. She broke the thing I was looking forward to the most. Fight fire with fire. What's something Kanon would look forward to?
お昼ご飯とかですかね？
No, fool. Think before you spout
だっ
nonsense.
て僕今日お昼食べてなくて。
Oh god, please don't tell me you're gonna break something like in her skating equipment or something like that. That's just gonna be... Sports! Sports!
あ
Isn't there a volleyball tournament
あ、で
tomorrow?
すね。
Kanon would be heartbroken if that got cancelled.
なるほど、わかりました。闇討ちして怪我させるんですよね。
Jeez Louise, sorry about that. You don't get it at all, do you?
あ、違うんすか？
I thought for a moment. I'm going to do something much more grand.
は？
Oh god. I took off my headgear.
おい、京介。もっと具体的に教えて。
It's quite simple. I cleared my throat for gravity's sake. After we're done here, I'm going to sneak into the faculty office and steal the key to the gym storage room.
体育用具室？
That's where they keep all the sports equipment. The important thing is that's where the volleyballs are as well, aren't they?
なるほど。鍵がなかったらボールが取れないな。
Are you gonna destroy the balls? So they'll be forced to suspend tomorrow's game. Ah, okay, just the key, okay. Ichi
お
nodded.
前、すっげえ悪だな。
Yeah, our entire class will be in chaos tomorrow.
何もそこまでしなくてもよくねえか？
The moment Eiichi is the one who's saying, aren't you going a little bit far? Yeah, right? Like, if even he is saying that. Oh god. It seems that fear has begun to grip Eiichi.
例えば、カノンの体操服を隠すとか、そういう策でもいいじゃねえか。
The number of suspects would be too limited if we did that. We'd be the first ones suspected. Eiichi, the voice of reason. Yeah, somehow we've come to that.
っていうか、やばくね？バレたらどうするんだよ。
Just don't get caught. If nobody's caught, it's not a crime.
クズの理屈じゃねえか。
I don't want to be called an asshole by you. I smirked. So, let's begin.
まあ、わかったよ。とっとと職員室行こうぜ。
Wait, we're not going right now. There's still a lot of teachers there. Also, the key to the sports equipment room would be in the hands of the club advisors at the
じゃ
moment.
あ、どうするんだよ。
I answered him in one breath. The club activities should end by 9 o'clock. The key would also be returned to the faculty office by then. MC is so cool, so badass, so criminal, totally not cringe. No, not at all, Bear, not at all. Petty is also a word for this. Teachers don't stay that late unless something unusual comes up. The only teachers on duty from that point forward would be the ones who check the doors and windows. This is like the scale, the sheer scale of this and impact. It just like it's way far and beyond what just happened on the roof with the CD. I'm not up for like what Canon was doing either, because I have had instances of people messing around with my things and breaking them just out of malice. So it kind of like hits a chord with me, and you know, regardless of how I feel about people, I respect their property, especially when it's something that's so precious to them. So what she was doing was a little bit out there as well, but she didn't actually intend to do it. She was just messing around with him. And he also kind of like caused it by jumping at her like that and not properly grabbing the CD. In either case, the CD got a scratch, okay. But then to take revenge on that with this, and not just impacting Canon, but like the entire school in a way, or like the whole group of people who we're looking forward to that volleyball event. That's just... The dude needs a chill pill. He does.
あ、今週の当番はのりこ先生だ。
Yeah, me too. Me too. Exactly.
のりこ先生を計画に抱き込んで鍵をゲットするんだな。
I'm sorry, is there a brain in your head? What? That's impossible. She'll be in big trouble if she steals the key as a teacher.
のりこは俺の言いなりだから。
Sure she does, dude. Sure.
ごめん、嘘。
Yeah, of course. Let me continue. I rubbed my eyebrows. After 9, you head to the faculty office to double check that the only one in there is Miss Noriko.
一人じゃなかったら？
It should be alright. We'll just think of another way then.
わかった。それで？
You lure her out of the faculty office. While she's gone, I'll sneak into the faculty office and steal the
鍵
key.
がどこにあるかわかるのか？
You know the math teacher's desk? There are some keys hanging on the wall behind the desk. That's where it is.
うん、見たことあるな。
I'll grab the master key while I'm at it. They should be at the same place. Are you following all this? I can get it done in 1 minute. You only need to buy that much time for me.
あ、ちょっと待って。
What?
役割を変えてくれよ。
He looks a bit troubled. You're asking me to lure Miss Noriko out?
うんうん。
He pouted his lip, trying to act cute. Because you got rejected by her?
いや、そこまでひどいこと言われたわけじゃないけど。
Then what is it?
栄一くんって嘘つきなんだねって。
He seems to be taking it quite seriously. You got hurt?
顔を合わしたらテンパりそう。お前の口から俺がどんなに誠実キャラか教えてやってくれよ。
Stop fooling around. In all seriousness, I really can't say I'm fond of the idea of calling out Miss Noriko myself. Explaining to her while I'm still at school at night would be difficult, for one thing. Tsubaki said it once before. I'm one of those people that head straight home after school. If possible, I'd like to avoid doing something unnatural.
頼むって。
Fine, just be quiet.
さすが神、一生ついていくぜ。
I'll make sure to tell her what an ass you are.
ちょっとちょっと。
I clicked my tongue. Listen, you have to pay attention.
なんだ？
Before we go in and steal the key at 9, you can't be seen by anyone at
Okay.
school. Use your brain and think. I gently knocked his head. All they would need to know in order to deduce a list of suspects would be the time the key was stolen. Sometime between the end of club activities at 9 and tomorrow morning. That means anyone at school within this time frame will be a suspect. Of course, I'll be suspected too. Even so, it's okay as long as I'm with Miss Noriko.
あ、そっか。もし誰かに見つかったら、どうして夜遅くまで学園にいたのかって疑われちゃうもんな。
Understand? You need to pretend to have left school before 9 today.
オッケー、わかったよ。
Is there a Noriko route? There isn't. Well, until the time comes, just hide here. I double-checked my plan to see if there was anything wrong. Let's see. Other than using the room's key and master keys, are there still ways to open the gym storage room? It's not like it's a detective novel where they would just break the lock and force their way in. Oh well, this is just a game anyway. The key will be in the school's mailbox after we're done.
これでカノンも残念賞ってやつじゃねえか。気分いいね。
Jeez. Eiichi was already excited like he won the lottery or something. The sunset dyed the lab equipment storage in a cornucopia of hues. Oh jeez, oh lord, oh my gosh. 10 minutes after 9, we commenced our plan. The corridor after school was thick with bone-chilling air after the lights were switched off. Now, go hide in the storeroom or
わかっ
something.
た。のりこ先生を外におびき出したら、俺の携帯に電話くれるんだったな。
Did they really stay at school that late? Be careful when you receive the call and make sure your phone is on silent.
任せとけって。
That seems a little bit too late, but okay. Don't stand beside the windows, alright? Someone might see you from the outside.
任せとけっての。京介は心配性だな。
And he's certainly not doing a good job of alleviating my fears, that's for sure. I smell a locked room mystery. Who knows? Okay, contact me after you've stolen the key.
オッケーオッケー。速攻連絡するってな。
Not immediately. After you steal the key, leave the school without being spotted, then contact me.
いいへい。
Eiichi refused to take this seriously. Well, let's go.
のりこ先生にちゃんと根回ししといてくれよ。
I ignored Eiichi's nonsense and headed toward the faculty office. As expected, only Miss Noriko remained. Hey, Miss Noriko, you think I could talk to you for a second? She jumped in surprise at the unexpected address, but quickly recovered her mature composure.
浅井くんだったわね。遅くまで勉強してるのね。
Oh, not at all.
あなたのことは聞いてるわよ。出席日数は思わしくないみたいだけど、成績も優秀で、女の子からの評判もいいみたいじゃない？
What a straightforward teacher. It's about... I confirmed the location of the key as I spoke. Just as I told Eiichi, the keys are lined up on the wall behind the math teacher's
どうしたの
desk.
かしら？
Now it's time to lead her out of the faculty office. Oh, wait, this isn't a good place to chat. Why? There's nobody there. Nobody else, I mean.
どうして？ここじゃダメ？誰もいないわよ。
Exactly. She's a bit suspicious, but that's nothing I wasn't expecting. It's about Eiichi. There's something I want to show you.
栄一くん？
Miss Noriko's face froze.
見せたいものって？
Wait, can you come to the classroom with me? Please, you'll understand once you get there. I lowered my head slightly. I've heard him talk about you before. I clenched my fist and spoke with a trembling voice. Eiichi may be stupid, but he can be a little rotten at times. He can be a little rotten at times, but he's not a bad person. I played the part of a nice teenager looking out for his friend. So, please? After a moment, Miss Noriko stood up.
仕方ないわね。
So far, everything has gone according to plan. I quickly manipulated the cell phone in my pocket once I was out in the corridor. Eiichi, please don't mess this up. Right here. I led Miss Noriko to the classroom. I actually wanted to show you Eiichi's desk.
机？
Right, you'll know when you see it. It's that one. Miss Noriko seemed apprehensive as she approached Eiichi's desk. Oh god, sorry. I started making up stories. So, there's a lot of writing on the desk, right?
何が？まっさらで傷一つない綺麗な机じゃない。
I widened my eyes. What? There's no writing
書
on
いて
it?
ないわ。
Weird. I pretended to be in a panic and averted my eyes. That Eiichi, when did he rub it
浅井
off?
くん、どういうことか説明してもらえる？
Well, Eiichi's been thinking about you a lot these days. He had written... Oh, how should I put it? He'd written a love confession of sorts on the desk. Phrases like, I love you and things like that were all over it. It might be a bold-faced lie, but it's fine as long as I can cover up for it somehow
本
later.
当なの？
Yes, he's actually an innocent and shy
そ
person.
う。
Sorry, I meant to show this to you sooner. Miss Noriko quietly laughed.
まあいいわ。浅井くんが友達思いなのは分かったから。
No, not really. Really not. He isn't. Really, I'm not. At least he admits it, right? At least he's self-aware. I'm really sorry for dragging you out here for nothing. I wanted you to see it while nobody was here in the classroom. I pointed out the reason for being at school at this hour. Just please reconsider about Eiichi. I didn't forget to help Eiichi out.
気持ちは分かったわ。でも、私、本当は他に好きな人がいるのよ。
Why is nobody, like, saying out loud the actual, issue here? It's not that you have another person in mind. It's that even if you didn't have another person in mind, you're a teacher and he's a student and this is not possible. What? Excuse me? Oh, is that so? Cry, Eiichi.
ごめんなさいね。
No, it's okay. Or maybe it's like the, let's say, the politeness culture in Japan at work that she's just trying to, you know, let him off gently by just saying, oh, there's another person. Sorry. It should be done by now. It's time for me to leave. I apologize for bringing such a sad circumstance to your attention. Miss Noriko smiles gently as she watches me go. The streets may be crowded, but tonight is especially cold. The pitiable Eiichi finally arrived. How did it go? He revealed the 2 keys. Seems like he got the master key too. I'll take care of them. Nobody saw you, right? Did you do anything unnecessary in the faculty office, like search through Miss Noriko's desk? I wouldn't trust him. We'll be suspended if we're caught, you know? I'm still a bit worried. Oh well. I can't wait until tomorrow comes. In the middle of the crowd, we burst into chuckles. The 3rd lesson tomorrow is physical education. I can already see it now, the devastated look on Kanon's face. I've seen a cute Japanese TV series about a student-teacher romance. Okay, sure, I mean, I guess it can happen, but I don't know. Maybe I have a wrong sense of their ages. It's just not a thing. Eiichi sniffled, his red ears quivering. Oh, wait, Eiichi. While we're on Central Boulevard, I might as well ask him. Have you heard of a group called The Boys? Why are you asking Eiichi about it? Eiichi tilted his head and thought for a moment.
So is
that a band? Do you know any of the members' names? The student there was a bit more likable than Eiichi. Okay. Who's the leader? But nobody's ever seen him. Actually, the girl I'm with right now likes those kinds of clubs. Nah, I appreciate the info. The boss never shows up, will he? If there are 6 members though, at least one of them must be in contact with him. Well, then my course is clear. If Gonzo's group captures one of the members, that person will spit out the information quickly. To Gonzo, this is as humiliating as putting mud on one's face. He'd have the kid tortured for it. Looks like I won't even be needed. Yeah, I'll be a bit late tomorrow. I have to visit the hospital first thing in the morning. H is joking. You got me. Maybe you do need that. Truth be told though, I really am going to meet someone from that field. He thinks that I'm meeting someone from OBGYN. Eiichi finally heads toward the bus station. If you only counted appearances, that guy would have been as cute as an angel. Well, now time to don my other personality. I thought about the family business as I made phone calls one by one. I haven't taken part in any illegal dealings. We're trying to give the semblance of a legit company after all, and we don't want the police to pick up on anything funny. For example, I might provide snacks, towels, ice, handkerchief, plants, and artwork to hotels, fast food restaurants, pubs, clubs, etc. These may be minor accessories, but they still make a great profit when they start adding up. Central Boulevard is known for its services targeting the younger generation. To a mafia company like the Asahi Corporation that runs on both clean and dirty businesses, that's a treasury of power. The Asahi Corporation has the biggest stake in Central Boulevard right now, but the organizations from Kansai are starting to set their eyes on it again, so we have to stay alert. Right. In order to increase sales in the industry, a little competition would be profitable. We shouldn't push Kotani under too hard. Are there any outstanding issues that need to be dealt with? True, my father is a horrifying monster, but the Asahi Corporation is not. Only the Demon Lord in some video game would actually relish in destroying the world. Come to think of it, there's still Shiratori Mizuha. Yes, thanks for the help so far. Now there's another issue. Shiratori scorns me because she holds issue with my alleged mafia work at such a young age. Anyone with an honest job would be shocked after finding out what I really did. But it isn't unusual for violent groups to use young people. They're young, full of energy, ignorant and rash. And most importantly, they're protected by the law if and when anything goes sour. As the vanguard for violence, there's probably no better choice. The small difference between me and the rest of them, though, is that Gonzo doesn't treat me as just a bullet. My job's not using my body, but my mind. From the day I was adopted, Gonzo provided me with everything I needed. He even gave me the opportunity to get an education. Everything I could imagine was at my fingertips. Anything was obtainable. However, Gonzo recorded every last penny he ever spent on me. Not just food and water either. His criticism ranged from the rent of my tiny room to the cost of my office furniture, even down to a single sheet of tissue. Anything related to life was changed to a form of debt to him. All the costs, compounded by a steep interest, forced me to use my mind to achieve his ends. Right. Well, I'll talk to you again soon. The call ended. I sat quietly under the dim streetlights. Nearly every problem in this world can be solved with money. Take Central Boulevard as an example. Its very composition is undeniably intertwined with the almighty yen. Cell phones ringing everywhere. Women with brand name dresses. There's a road repair project underway as the end of the year nears. Even the early winter's cold night sky is engulfed by the aura of the Sano Corporation building. I'll crush all of this. Then, at the exact moment I whispered this to myself. Hello. When did she appear? Usami stood in front of me before I knew it. Oh, Usami, you sure are playing around quite late, aren't you?
ああ、違います。昼間も言いましたけど、バイトです。バイトの帰りです。
Nice. Really? What would the job be? Didn't she say already?
それでちょっとお願いなんすけど。
You weren't listening, were you? I really don't like this girl.
あ、すいません。自分よく人をダウンな気分にさせるみたいなんで。ダウナー系の界隈ではブイブイ言わせてる方なんで。いや、本当は人混みとか苦手なんすよ。背筋とか丸まっちゃって、下見て歩いてるもんだから、歩道の白線とかずっと数えちゃうんすよ。
What are you trying to say?
果物屋です。自分主にバナナ売ってます。
Right. Nice. Enough, I understand. So, what is it that you want? Usami tilted her head.
携帯電話貸してもらえませんか?
My cell phone? You don't have one?
はい。自分電話とか苦手なんで。
It's not just calls. You're not used to communication itself, are you?
いや、それはないっす。
Clearly she doesn't know the first thing about herself.
バイト先に財布忘れちゃって、早く連絡しないとお店閉められちゃうと思うんで。すいません、唐突で。
Something's not right here. This annoying woman, is she trying to check my call logs behind the guise of a long conversation? Sorry.
はい。
I don't have my cell phone with me right now.
持ってない。
Usami's eyes widened as if she were shocked to the bone. I think I dropped it about an hour ago. I'm actually looking for it now. Her pure eyes twinkled.
それは嘘だ。
We switched to some Chopin. And she's calling him out. What? Usami's focus slowly moved from my eyes to the right.
寒いですよね。
Eh,
私なんか耳まで真っ赤です。
I see.
けれど、あなたは左の耳しか赤くない。これはつまり、ついさっきまで何かが右の耳に触れていたということだ。
I like her. She pays attention to all of these details. That's cool. This girl is pretty sharp. Okay, okay, sorry. I just wanted to fool around with you. Don't glare at me like that.
いえいえ、自分も冗談です。右の耳だけ寒さに強い体質なんで。
Sorry. I made my usual slack smile.
いえいえ。
Usami also made a creepy smile. I handed my cell phone over and Usami started dialing immediately.
あ、バイトの宇佐美です。ええ、サラサラロングヘアの宇佐美です。店長まだいらっしゃったんですね。よかったっす。
Really? I thought Shiratori was also interesting. Because of her being the only one who sees through the mask that Mr. MC here is putting so far. I wish she would have stood up to him a bit more and not like cowered towards the end of that conversation. But let's see more of her before making a judgment, I would say. She returned to her lazy mood. The more I learn about her, the weirder she gets. She's mid, okay. Though I will admit that she's a genius at making others feel nervous. Or is it only me that she affects so strongly? I feel like that stare of hers sees everything within me.
どうも、終わりました。
Oh, found your wallet?
ありましたありました。店が終わってバナナを冷蔵庫にしまうときに落としちゃったみたいですね。店長が拾っておいてくれましたよ。
That's alright, I won't hold you to it. You have the right to change your mind. You're pretty clumsy.
バイトでもかなりどやされてますよ。自慢じゃないっすけど。
She started scratching her head lazily.
それじゃ、この度はお手数をおかけしまして。
Usami turned her back toward me and continued forward. So, what's your real job?
はい。
Usami turned around. It might have just been my imagination, but Usami seemed a little happy. Working at a fruit stall is a lie, isn't it? Jeez.
どういうことっすかね。
That's her motive? Sorry, what's her motive? To keep the flavor properly, one should never refrigerate bananas. That's even more crucial as a salesman than a consumer. She must have already recognized this. She's trying to test me.
ああ、そうっすね。その通りっす。バレちゃいましたか。浅井さんって賢いっすね。何気ない会話の中で嘘を見抜くなんて。
I mean, I buy 7 bananas for the whole week and I have one each every day. I have one every day for breakfast, and if I don't refrigerate them, they're gonna go bad by the end of the week, so I do. To me, it's not that big of a deal, but okay. Don't fuck with me. Okay. Haha, and you, Usami, are such an interesting person. So basically, she never actually had any intention of borrowing my cell phone.
あ、いやいや、ほんとすいません。バイト先は内緒ってことで、一つお願いします。
Why is she trying to get close to me?
でも、せっかく浅井さんとたくさんお話できましたし、せっかくついでに、一つだけいいっすかね。
Here it comes. What is it? The next point will be the crux of the conversation.
いや、大したことじゃないんすけど。
Usami straightened her back slowly as she spoke.
魔王、知らないか？
Huh? It's not a word one hears often, so I thought I had misheard her. Usami glared at me with stern eyes. What's Maou? Some demon lord in an RPG video game?
ゲームといえばゲームかもしれない。
I'm not sure what you mean. If you're looking for game walkthroughs, wouldn't it be better to search on the net?
インターネットで所在がわかるほど簡単な敵じゃない。
Enemy?
敵だ。
The lazy ambience which had dominated the conversation up until now disappeared in an instant. Maybe it's his dad, no?
わからないか？
Why would I?
私は魔王を追ってこの町に来たんだ。
Sorry. Are you serious? If so, then the only thing I can think is that you're a bit mad.
要件はそれだけだ。
Huh?
私は魔王を探している。それをお前に知っておいてもらいたかった。
I had no reply. Nevertheless, Susami's eyes reflected something beyond mere determination. They reflected absolute hatred.
邪魔をしたな。
Her footsteps vanished into the crowd of Central Boulevard. Usami is looking for something called the Maou. She's probably referring to a specific person. Something feels wrong. Usami may be a strange woman, but she's clearly smart enough to be aware of what she's doing. So then why would she say something that would arouse suspicion of insanity? And why would she say it to me? Time to go home. Even if I think about it, I'll just come up with nothing. Nothing except Usami Haru called herself a hero. A being of justice that subdues the strong and helps the weak. You don't find those kinds of people. It's such an extraordinary exception. If such an extraordinary exception existed, I'd like to see it. It gets on my nerves, even if it was just a joke. And as for me, I'd rather play the role of the devil. Sure, dude. Okay. Right, I was waiting for the scene to end. I'm gonna make a quick run to the bathroom. Sorry about that. I'll be right back and then we continue with this. Yeah, super edgy. Right. Zenyatta duck. All of these years, I never thought of it that way. But now that you say it, yeah, I guess you're right. Let me see. Is this okay? Yeah, I'm in frame. Alright. And I guess when it turns like this, I could just hide myself for a moment so I don't cover the text. Bam. Okay. So, at this time of day, the region of downtown Tomanbetsu City called Central Business was enveloped in the darkness of night. Row upon row of colossal buildings sheltered the deserted streets from the cold winter air. Still, even wild dogs and the homeless stayed away from Central Business. The offices of hundreds of powerful companies line up against each other within this single district. During business hours, famous celebrities from all around the world pass through this area and invariably show up on the media. Some business magazines have gone so far as to call Tomambetsu's central business the second largest Japanese economic powerhouse, following Tokyo's business district. In the region's center lies an especially eye-catching enormous high-rise. A gargantuan tower with 50 stories above ground and 6 beneath. Ooh, that's a lot. It was designed with the purpose of overlooking the entire city in mind, a purpose not unlike that of the company it houses. The headquarters of Sano Corporation, one of Japan's top conglomerates. When the other offices went into slumber, only this firm remained awake. A very dynamic stream? What do you mean? What did I do? When the other offices went into slumber, okay, only this firm remained awake. Since they acquired intelligence from agents all around the world, the data simply couldn't be processed without a 24-hour work schedule. Adaptive face scan. Oh my god. It's just like a visibility toggle. That's all. It's nothing fancy. I did that for flowers as well because it had like these scenes where there would be a lot of text across the whole screen, so I would be covering it. And yeah. In the deepest part of the building stood Maou, the 7th floor beneath the surface, a floor which should not have existed at all. The hidden chamber. Ooh, the chamber of secrets underground. Okay. It belonged to the Sano Corporation, yes, but... Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Stream died. Jeez. Reconnection successful. Okay, are we back? Jeez. Yes, no? It looks like we're back. Yeah, sorry about that. Probably an internet hiccup on my side. Because OBS disconnected and then reconnected, so... That was too much dynamism. I'm so sorry. It's completely out of my hand. Probably an internet hiccup, yeah. I'm here, though. I'm here, it's okay. Okay, so... it belonged to the Sano Corporation, yes, but only a very select few were allowed to enter. Flowers had lewd scenes, so Neza had to hide her blushing face. You screenshotted my my face plenty of times. So yeah, that was also a thing. The average employee would not even be aware of its existence. This building had more security systems installed than any other in central business. Surveillance cameras, metal detectors, they had it all. The only access to this room was an elevator that led directly to the ground floor. For emergencies, triple reinforced glass separated the elevator's door from the entrance to the secret room.
この部屋では、たとえ人が死んだとしても、秘密裏に処理されるのでしょうな。
Oof. A lone male said this, a man in a double-layered suit who looked to be somewhere in his 50s. A few strands of grey popped out from his head of neatly combed hair. His Sano Corporation ID badge reflected a dull light under the dim fluorescent lamp.
こんな時間に呼び出してすまないね。だが、私だって時間を割いているということを理解してもらいたい。
The man's tone portrayed his strong confidence. His name was Someya. As Sano Corporation's director of senior management and head of corporate strategy, he holds absolute power in this country. A single order from this man could cause the Nikkei index to fluctuate. A single phrase could drive an employee to take his own life. Oh my god. Nevertheless, Mao merely stared blankly at the wall before him.
君が経営企画室の影のブレーンとして我々に意見するようになって。
Rather than nodding, Mao calmly rearranged his position.
初めはどこの馬の骨かと思ったよ。社長の推薦とはいえ、設立80年の歴史を誇る山王物産によそ者が紛れ込んでいるのだからね。
This is getting old. Why am I disconnected again? Yeah. Should be back now. I'm not sure what's happening. It might also be a Twitch thing because I quickly loaded Google while I was disconnected again and that worked. So I'm not sure. Oh no. Ah! The technology is not there on our side, is it? Rest in pieces. Should be back. At least OBS looks green right now to me. I'm refreshing my stream. Should be there, right? Right. Technology, I'm really sorry. I don't know what to do. We're fine now, right? Right? Say something. We are here. Okay, cool. Let's go. He's beating around the bush. Perhaps that particular tendency comes with the territory for someone working in the trade business. Mao looked at Someya emotionlessly.
確かに君の活躍は目覚ましい。君のおかげで我が社はそれまで河川市場だった軍事産業に食い込むことができた。また大幅な人員削減によっていわゆる大企業病からの脱却を図ることもできた。さらに
He showed no sign of stopping the praise. However, Mao already sensed the truth lying behind Someya's words. Thus, he finally began to speak.
私の力はもう不要だとおっしゃりたいのでしょう。
We have a voice. Okay. His quiet voice went straight to the point. Someya went silent.
私の指図であなた方は動き、莫大な利益を得た。だが同時に、とても世間に公表できないような計画も断行してしまった。
我が社は多くのリスクを抱え込んでしまったのだよ。
私のせいで？
君のその悪魔的な頭脳のせいで。
Someya's lips quivered. Mao knows. Someya may be in a position of power within an enormous company, but that only applies to the workings of the company itself. With respect to the illegal acts planned by Mao, he was a mere greenhorn.
率直に言おう。南米に飛んでもらいたい。
暖かいですな。
Mao let a subtle laugh escape his lips. Someya tried to smooth things over.
そこでしばらく身を隠して、ほとぼりが冷めるのを待ってもらいたいのだ。
Oh god, what is this? No. Goodbye. Thank you very much, but that's fine.
暖かいですな。
Mao repeated again.
そう、暖かい場所だよ。現地では豪勢な社宅を用意してやる。苦労はさせないつもりだ。
Mao shook his head.
違います。
何が？
あなたが温室育ちだと言いたいのですよ。
Sheltered little psyche, what? Somaya cringed as if he'd bit his tongue.
私を本当に邪魔だと言うならば、もっとやり方があるでしょ
やり方だと？
Just then the elevator doors opened. A man in white entered. Somaya's face turned to the side. He welcomed the man with eyes that cried for help.
紹介しよう。こちらは桑島君。
He was a young man that looked to be in his mid-20s. He was pale and frail-looking, but his eyes seemed to glow with an eerie sheen. He seemed like the type that would be more at home in a laboratory than a business enterprise.
我が社の新しいコンサルタントだ。ボストンで勉強していたのを無理を言って来てもらったのだ。
う。私の後任というわけか。
大学ではゲーム理論を学んでました。
Kuwashima spoke with a husky voice.
魔王と呼ばれているそうですから、どんな方かと楽しみにしてましたが、意外とお若いんですね。僕は26ですが、ひょっとしてそれより下ですか？
ゲーム理論の専門家にしては、自分の情報をペラペラと喋る。
あなたのことは染谷室長から聞いてますよ。
Mao took a look at Somaya. That motion alone filled Somaya with fear.
桑島君はすでに社内の人間だ。君のことを話しても構わんだろう。
社内の人間。なるほど。山王物産ほどの大企業は、私のような得体の知れない人間の手を借り続けるのは居心地が悪いのでしょうな。
Is there an issue again, or is just Twitch being silly? No, we should be fine. We should be fine. Just Twitch being silly. Okay. There are some hiccups. Ugh. I'm really sorry about that. Yeah, I'm trying to be here as well, but it seems technology is not on our side today.
派遣交代というわけですよ。山王はこれから僕の手でクリーンに生まれ変わるんです。
This voice is so ugh. Gives me the creeps just hearing it. Kawashima continued his pretentious speech. Mao didn't hate young men who were blinded by pride. He smiled as he thought, "Oh, come, lovely child."
なんだ、僕のどこがおかしいんだ。
君は秀才であるのかもしれない。だが、実績はまだないのだろう。
Kawashima sneered.
いいか、企業戦略は理論だ。実績なんて後からついてくる。最新の理論を持つ僕が華々しい功績を上げるであろうことは、すでに数値的には証明されているんだ。
頼もしい
Ah,
な。
his voice though. I have an inkling. I need to double check it though. Mao slowly walked toward Kawashima.
一つゲームをしよう。
ゲーム？
君が勝てば、私は潔く身を引こう。採用試験と受け取ってもらっても構わない。
Kawashima smiled as Mao finished.
いいでしょう。で、どんなゲームですか？
Mao stretched his left arm and held it out before Kawashima. He spread out each finger and pointed it at the man before him.
君も同じように指を広げてくれ。
Kawashima held out his left hand.
ここに私と君の分を足して10本の指がある。
Oh, I'm so stressed out. What does this mean?
魔王といえども指は5本なのですね。
Mao continued calmly, ignoring Kawashima's mockery.
ルールは簡単だ。これから我々は交互に空いている右手を使ってこの10本の指を折っていく。
Bend? What do you mean? How?
逐次定番ゲームですか。かなりの得意分野です
I'm
よ。
not familiar. What is that?
自分の番が来たら指を2本折ってもいいし1本折ってもいい。ただし指は私と君のを交互に折らなければならない。
1本あるいは2本ですね。最終的に最後の指を折ったプレイヤーが勝ち。
察しがいいな。何か質問は？
Oh god, what? I've never seen this before. Then Kawashima quietly chuckled. He was trying to conceal his amusement. It seemed that his laughter was directed at what he considered to be his opponent's stupidity.
提案ですがね、魔王。
Alright.
何かな？
僕が先行でいいですか？
Mao nodded. Kawashima smirked as his proposal was approved.
その代わり、私からも提案だ。
何でもどうぞ。
各プレイヤーに与えられる制限時間は20秒としようか。
20 seconds, okay.
20秒。10秒もいりませんよ。
Oh god, don't be cocky. This is like such a flag. Whenever people get cocky, they're gonna get their ass whooped. It's a standard.
10秒でいいのか？
ええ。
本当に？
しつこいな。さっさとやりましょうよ。
Mao and Kawashima faced each other. Each spread their left hand and straightened his fingers.
ではゲームを開始しますよ。僕が先行でしたね。
Kawashima bent his own thumb with his right
ま
hand.
ずは1本ですね。
Yes, that's what I was thinking! Jun Fukuyama! He's my favorite voice actor, but there's something also slightly different in the way he's playing here, but and that's why I was like, am I right or am I wrong? Right? I needed to Google it, but yes, Jun Fukuyama was my thought. Yes. Love it. Okay, I'm happy. I hope we get more of this because I absolutely adore him. I adore him. He has such a nice range to do characters like Lelouch on the one side, but also Watanuki from XXXholic on the other side. He's amazing. I love him. Okay, all right. Let's get past my fangirling. I was trying to contain it, like inside it was kind of overflowing, but I was trying to pay attention to the scene. And now that you mentioned it and confirmed it, it's spewing all over. Simp mode, yes, absolutely. Jun Fukuyama is the GOAT. Daisuke Ono is a close second as well, but Jun is just... I've had a soft spot for him for years, and I've always been able to recognize him. I'm glad I managed this time as well. Yes. Oh. Alright. First move. How does this thing work? Because I still don't understand it from the rules, but let's see it in practice. Since they began with Kawashima's thumb, the person who bends Mao's little finger will be the winner. Oh, so you can bend fingers on the other person? I'm so confused, but okay, let's just keep going. Mao bent his own thumb and Kawashima's index finger.
君の番だ。制限時間は10秒だったな。
Kawashima bent Mao's index finger with a confident look on his face.
1本でいいのかな？
ええ、
Oh god, his
僕の
voice.
勝利は決まっていますから。
I'm sorry. Oh. Okay. Mao bent 2 fingers during his next turn. Kawashima's middle finger, and then his own. Kawashima chuckled afterward.
笑わせないでくださいよ、魔王。
どうした？
これはいわゆる先に10といったもん勝ちのゲームだ。必勝法は中学生でも知っていますよ。
Kawashima touched his own ring finger as he laughed uncontrollably.
僕のこの薬指はゲームにおける7番目の指です。このゲームは後ろから解いていけばいいのです。自分が10本目を折るためには7本目を折れば勝利が確定します。
I have a really bad feeling about this.
ほう。
7を折るためには4を、4を折るためには1を。つまり先行を取ったプレイヤーが必ず勝つんですよ。
Mao listened to Kuwashima's explanation quietly.
なぜなら僕が7本目の指を折った場合、魔王は8本目のみ、あるいは8本目と9本目の指を折ることしかできませんからね。魔王が8本目のみを折った場合、僕は9、10と。魔王が8本目と9本目を折った場合、僕は10本目を折ることができます。
Then Kuwashima finally put the seventh finger, his own ring finger, down.
君の語りが長いので制限時間はとっくに過ぎてしまった。
Mao said this
君
calmly.
の負けだと言いたいところだが、一度は許そう。
さすがは魔王。寛大な処置をありがとうございます。
だが、二度はない。ゲームを続ける。
ゲーム続行ですって。僕の説明が理解できなかったのですか？
Three fingers remain. The eighth, Mao's ring finger. The ninth, Kuwashima's little finger. And the 10th, Mao's little finger.
あなたはバカですか？僕が7本目の指を折った以上、どうやったってあなたの負けなんですよ。
勝負というものは最後までわからない。
Mao put down his ring finger, then stretched his right hand toward Kuwashima's pinky.
わからない人だな。染谷室長、これで僕を認めてくれますよね。
Kuwashima was drunk on his victory, but then it happened. Oh no! Suddenly, Kuwashima screamed. He didn't clearly understand what had just happened, but his suffering and shock were plain on his face.
何を？
Are we cutting or breaking fingers, or what are we doing? As opposed to the panicked Kuwashima, Mao didn't make the slightest
綺麗
reaction.
に折れたろ？実際に経験したことがあればわかるだろうが、小指が折れてもさほど苦痛はないものだ。
Oof. Kuwashima's face turned pale. His finger was pointing in an impossible direction. Yes, I was thinking about that. It was no doubt a shock to a researcher like Kuwashima. Mao had truly bent his pinky.
さて、君の番だ。制限時間は10秒でいいんだったな。
Kuwashima didn't respond. Instead, he bent down and shivered in pain.
どうした？二度はないと言ったはずだぞ。10本目。私の小指を折れば君の勝利ではないか？
Kuwashima's already abandoned all thoughts about the game. The match was decided. Mao put down his arm and spoke to the man before him as he whimpered like a small animal.
君が戦略家として使い物になるかどうかは初手で見極めがついていた。
Mao continued his speech without a shred of pride at his victory.
君の言う通り、このゲームは先行を取った者が必ず勝つゲームだ。誰でも知っているが、誰でも知っているからこそ裏を読まなければならなかった。
Kuwashima's face lurched as he blocked his forehead with the back of his hand. He has already understood his complete failure.
君はまず初手で私の親指をへし折るべきだったのだ。小指と違って親指はかなり応える。だから私は20秒の制限時間を提案した。指を骨折した苦痛と衝撃に耐えるのに20秒程度の時間が欲しかったのだ。
Okay.
そんな何のためらいもなく。
何のためらいもなく人を傷つけることができなければ企業戦略家は務まらない。我々の一言で会社が倒産し一家が離散し自殺する。まともな常識のある人間にとっては抵抗感のある仕事だ。
Ay, ay, ay. Mao glanced at Someya standing in the corner of the room like a decoration.
染谷室長、お分かりか？
Sweat started pouring from Someya's forehead, as if he just now realized how terribly powerful Mao really was.
私が邪魔者で企業にとって不必要だと判断したのならば 南米に飛ばすなどという暴挙はやめた方がいい。
Oh man. Jeez. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
それは非常に手ぬるい選択だ。なぜなら私にはまだこの会社を使ってやるべきことがある。私が会社にもたらした利益に見合うだけの報酬を受け取っていない。不当な扱いを与えられるのならば、私は全力をもって山王物産に復讐するでしょ
う。わかった。
Somaya raised his arms nervously. Mao continued closing
う。あ
in.
なたはおっしゃったでしょう。この地下室ではたとえ死人が出ても秘密裏に処理されるのだと。
Of course, that was some foreshadowing.
わかったと言っているじゃないか。
私を殺しなさい。それが一番確実ですよ。
やめてくれ。
Mao knows how to control his fellow man. He simply causes pain without hesitation. Somaya and Kwashima can't do this. Just now, Mao demonstrated his lethal distinction. This distinction and the magnificent, overwhelming strength of violence. Somaya's curse was only a compliment to the Mao. Oh my god, okay. That was something. That was something. Jeez. It's not easy to get away from a clinical psychology counselor once one gets a hold of you. Okay. Truth be told, you can't find a person in this world without a single psychological problem. And if you ask me, doctors are labeling mere discontent as a serious disease. The good news is that I haven't reached the point where I need to be sent to a hospital yet. Still, a 5,000 yen per hour therapy fee is simply too much of a waste in my eyes. They make money by preaching bullshit about something you could have figured out from reading a book. What a magical, lucrative business. So, should I just talk about my past again? A certain building in the business district houses a clinical psychology institute on its 5th floor. Beyond the reception desk inside the therapist's room, I sat sitting. Top-notch English there. Face to face with the attending physician. Sat sitting. Yeah. The room itself was a spacious 500 square feet or more. A comfortable sofa and a surreal landscape painting are present to relieve anxiety, and a pair of matching tea-colored bookcases position themselves alongside the daily commodities. Even the light music that was circulating the room was there to target the sought-after goal of soothing a patient's soul.
もう10回目くらいになるかな。
Dr. Akimoto's tone was steady. His overweight body was wrapped in a white coat, and he directed a warm gaze at me. I've already read the story of his life from the back cover of his book. His picture gave off the impression of your everyday chubby man, like that of a pig, but he's quite a distinguished man. He studied in the States, acted as a special lecturer at a certain university in Tokyo, and had been a psychological counselor in the hospital of said university. This is an updated translation for the Steam release, by the way. I mean, when there's a lot of text, some stuff will slip through, always. It's fine. It's just funny. I understand what they meant. They meant that he was on the sofa and he was facing the doctor or something. But yeah, the choice of words was a bit unfortunate. He was both sitting and sitting.
京介君、今だからこそ本当のことを話すけれどね。
It always takes him a while to get to the point, but I've already gotten so used to it that I've come to find it almost endearing.
1年くらい前かな。ちょうど君が初めて私の元を訪ねてきた時だね。
Really?
君は何と言ってきたんだっけ？
Just a second. One could say his job entails getting his patients to repeat what he already knows over and over for themselves. It seems like I have different values than the average teenager in this society. Everyone always says to trust others, respect your superiors, help your friends, and honor your parents, but that's not the way that my mind works. I believe that people's hearts can be bought with money, that everyone only thinks of themselves, and that people act in order to further propagate what benefits them most. Dr. Akimoto shook his blueberry head. Sorry, not blueberry, blubbery. I'm already thinking of breakfast tomorrow morning. Blueberry. Blubbery. Okay, my bad. My brain filled in a letter that was not there. Gotta say though, that's a much more interesting image.
人間には誰しも良い自分と悪い自分が共存しているんだよ。幼児は犬猫をかわいそうだと思って拾ってあげる優しい一面と、カエルの口に爆竹を入れるような残酷な一面も持ち合わせているよね。けれど成長して情緒が整ってくると、悪い自分を理性で抑えられるようになる。君は今まで例えば人を殴ってやりたいとか思ったことはないかい？
I'm sorry. I just can't get over how ridiculous that just was. Good job, me. Good job. Yes, when someone borrowed money without any intent to pay it back, I wanted to kill him. Oh wow. Awesome statements to make in front of your therapist.
けれど実際には殺さない。そうだよね。
Yes. He nodded again, satisfied.
ここが境目なんだ。君が人格障害を持つ患者でないことを示す。
This could also just be the standard problems and worries that come with growing up, yes?
アメリカのとある大学教授がね、思春期におけるホルモンバランスの変化が、いわゆる不良少年を作り出す原因ではないということを実験で証明しているんだ。
But the things that I'm doing right now aren't all that different from the actions of a delinquent. Gonzo introduced me to Dr. Akimoto. So on some level, he knows about my position within the Azai Corporation.
つまり、君が人の心は金で買えると思うようになってしまったのは、それなりの理由があるということだよ。
And that cause is?
それを今からじっくりと探っていこうじゃないか。
Oh. Truly a lucrative business, worthy of respect. Of course, there's a reason that I spend my money on this counseling. This is a process that I must go through in order to receive a psychiatrist's signature on certain documents. Those documents waive a large portion of my school's attendance and credit requirements, making it easier to graduate. I see. To a person like me who skips often and doesn't take his academics seriously, it's a great deal. Of course, it does cost a pretty penny, but I only come here once a month, so I just think of it as using money to buy time. Needless to say, I don't have some personality disorder like Akimoto suspects.
じゃあ今日は君が今のお父さん、浅井権蔵さんに引き取られたいきさつについて聞いてみてもいいかな。
That story is a bit long. Is that alright?
ゆっくりで構わないよ。
I glanced at the clock on the wall. I have 15 minutes left of the hour-long session. If I waste too much time, I'm going to be charged extra. To put it simply, it's a result of my biological father's debt. 50 million yen in total. Oh, most of it was from bank and NBFC loans. The real problem started when he borrowed dirty money from Gonzo's organization. Our family was cruelly and continuously harassed by Gonzo's thugs. After mortgaging the house, they carried away all our belongings, furniture, and electronics. There was nothing left. I've only found out recently that they sold everything to a pawn shop. Mother was a bit sickly. Since we didn't even have a bed, we could only lay down some winter clothes in place of futons. Still, even my wildest dreams would have never suspected the loan sharks to be so cruel. Yes, according to newly passed laws, the police can intervene on behalf of citizens when they come into conflict with the underground societies. There was even an organization called the Victims Association. They used the internet to expose the ways that money went through the underground. But these efforts were merely a joke to those people. If one debt collector is chased away, another will come. If that one is chased away, yet another will rear his ugly head. No matter what, no matter how many times we fled or sought shelter, they would find us and knock on our doors. Filing for bankruptcy was popular for a while, but the process would take approximately 1 year from initial claim to closure. During this period of time, if the loan sharks caught up to you, you'd be dead. Your home, your parents' home, your friend's home, hotels nearby, taxi companies, newspaper stands, any place where one could get a temporary job, they would search everywhere. In their minds, it's a humiliation to allow one's prey to escape. As people hung up on preserving their honor, those stubborn bastards would chase us to the end, only stopping once they'd devoured us whole. We were easily caught at my grandmother's place. They even chased us all the way to Hokkaido. It was terrifying. Those bastards didn't even spare Mum. They bashed my face in when I tried to protect her. And that was how I first became involved with Dazai Gonzo. I glanced at the clock again. The hour's almost up. I need to stop by the school. I better wrap this up fast.
なるほどね。
Really? Well then.
もう終わりにするかい？
Yes, there's something I need to do after
分かっ
this.
たよ。ただ、浅井君、
Dr. Akimoto lowered the meek corners of his eyes.
今の話だけで君という人間を理解するには少々難しいね。例えば、浅井権蔵さんはどうして債務者の息子である君を養子にしたんだい？
I'm sorry, sir, but the time.
ああ、いいんだよ。少しくらい。君がいつも1時間きっかりで帰るのは知っているからね。お金を気にしているんだろ？
He's definitely worthy of being someone whose business is people. He saw through me right away. Then I'll continue for a little
あ
longer.
りがとう。
I sighed and picked up where I left off. He said, "You just might be something someday."
権蔵さんに？
It's probably because he saw that I didn't seem scared even though I was being pounded on by
度
thugs.
胸が座っていたんだね。
It's because my mind had shut down at the time.
何にしてもヤクザに見込まれるなんて大した男だよ、君。
This man's too warm. I've met many people like him in my time. Nevertheless, I don't feel anything. No matter how upstanding a person is, you can't trust him. Even distinguished people like this university professor and hospital advisor are still after nothing but money. There have been occasions like today where he gave me discounts on the extra time I took, but that too is just another attempt to placate and manipulate his customers. If personal interests aren't a part of the motive, then things just don't add up. I'd rather deal with the simple, easy to understand side of humanity than try to truly know someone. Interesting. So I became the son of Azai Gonzo, because in the whole world, you won't find a bastard that's as simple as him. Gonzo gave me a warm place to live, everyday necessities, and the means and motivation to graduate from middle school. If I went to see him today and mentioned that I wanted to work for the family business in the future, he'd enroll me tomorrow in business classes only the rich could afford. If I decided I wanted to get in shape, then he'd introduce me to a boxing coach. Only he didn't do that out of love or goodwill. After he heard my requests, Gonzo would say the same thing every time. Listen, Kyosuke, the reason that I gave you these things and money is to put you under my control. Dr. Akimoto's expression became grave for an instant. If you ever get the idea in your head to off me in my sleep, I'll have raised you in such a way to make you hesitate to go through with it, if even for but a second.
噂には聞いていたが、強烈なお父さんだね。
Oh gosh. Isn't it great how simple and easy he is to understand? He had no answer to my inquiry. Well, that's pretty much it for time.
ああ、最後にいいかな。
What is it?
君は友達なんかからよく忘れっぽいと言われたりしていないか？
I frowned. I sometimes forget about promises that I made.
そ
He nodded with force. What about it?
う。いや、君のように忙しい若者ならうっかりすることもあるのだろうね。
He's clearly trying to hide the truth, the reason that he asked me the question. He likely intends to leave it hanging like that, on purpose as a teaser for the next appointment.
じゃあ次回また都合がついたら
Oh, thanks again for today. I straightened up and left. Mr. Akimoto Blueberry is onto something. Okay. Okay, since that scene is done, I think maybe this is a good stop to leave, a good place to leave it for today. Good stopping point. I'm a little bit tired and I have an early day tomorrow. It is my last day. It's gonna be super long because I have to finish up a few things and also try to talk to people and say some sort of goodbye and stuff. So, last day before the maternity stream. I suppose so, yeah. Yeah, okay. So we leave it there. We'll see where we take it next time. Thank you so much for being here. There we go. Yeah, I feel like today we got a little bit more depth into things here. It's no longer just the surface cringiness. So yeah, it's getting interesting. I'm really curious to see where this is going and what things mean and stuff. Because right now I'm just guessing at things, and I'd rather actually not. I'd rather just let the novel unfold before my eyes. So yeah, very nice. We were introduced to all the characters, more or less, at least the girls. Yeah, now we got to meet them all. That's cool. The girls are nice, like Bea mentioned. The MC wasn't really doing it for me, but with this last scene especially, I feel like we're finally starting to see some depth to him. So yeah, we haven't gotten to the OP yet. Okay. All right. I'm just saying it's starting to, you know, get to a point where things are actually interesting and it's not just an introduction anymore. So I'm happy about that. Happy that we're doing this together. It's a really fun time. So I'm looking forward to next time on Tuesday. Until then, take care of yourselves. Have a nice weekend. Relax. I definitely will need it because I've been working so much this week. It's been so long. It's such a daunting task to leave everything behind as well, and leave people prepared with most of the information that they need. So yeah, I only like the cute girls. The MC and his criminal stuff, not so much. I'm curious to see where it's going. I'm not saying that I'm enjoying the criminal endeavors, but it is interesting. It is interesting, and with this bit of backstory that we just got, it explains things a little bit more and creates some like layers to him. Right? It's not just the weird. I don't know if cringy is the applicable, forgetful kind of like teenager playing as a mastermind, because that was kind of the impression that I was left with the last stream, and now I'm a bit more okay, there's something going on there. So yeah, looking forward to seeing more into it next time. Until then, take care of yourselves, and yeah, we keep going with the usual schedule for now. And maybe in the future we'll see how it feels for me to be off, and if it's needed we can supplement the streams at some point. And we learned about a fun hand game we can play with friends. Oh gosh, oh lord, please no. No. All right, take care guys, love you, see you Tuesday, bye bye.